Clarkson's Farm star Harriet Cowan claims she is not making any money despite show. Harriet Cowan became a hit with Clarkson's Farm viewers when she stepped in to help Jeremy Clarkson while Kaleb Cooper went away, as she revealed the harsh realities of the industry. Clarkson's Farm star Harriet Cowan has revealed the harsh realities of farming, as she admitted to not making any money from it. The 24-year-old won over fans when she stepped in for Kaleb Cooper on the latest series of Jeremy Clarkson's show. His hit Amazon Prime Video documentary series sees the former Top Gear host try make a living on his diddly squat farm. Due to Jeremy's lack of expertise in farming, he relies on Kaleb for all the tips and tricks of the trade. However, as Kaleb's own career has picked up since appearing on the show, Jeremy was left without a hand when he headed on his UK tour. Harriet stepped up to the job, with many wishing for her return to screens. She has become her own star on social media thanks to her TikToks dancing in her tractor. Her main source of income comes from farming, having grown up on her granddad's livestock farm. Yet, Harriet revealed the industry has little financial gain for her family, as it has become a lifestyle over a business. "We cannot reiterate how important this is for us, that we don't do this because it's going to make us money," she said on BBC's Farm Watch. "Because probably 90% of farms do not make money from the farm, I know I don't." The Great British Bake Off's Mike Wilkins, who appeared on the show with Harriet, added it was because farmers don't pay themselves, as money gets put back into the farm. "We just work for free 7 days a week, and it becomes such a lonely place," Harriet shared. Mike added, "Profitability is so under pressure. Most farms aren't making any money, and people really are doing it because it's their lifestyle." Harriet's journey onto Clarkson's Farm kicked off thanks to social media when she was contacted by the production team. Speaking to the Sunday Times, Harriet explained, "Charlie Ireland, Clarkson's land agent, let me know they were looking for someone to come and help. I think they were keen for it to be a woman who could do that role and show they could do it well." She also shared her first impressions of Jeremy, confessing she wasn't particularly acquainted with his previous work, though she'd certainly heard his name. Harriet confessed she wasn't really into the cars, and described Jeremy as being very much like every other farmer I've ever met. In a particularly cheeky observation, she quipped, "He's got the physique of a farmer." The young farmer also has another very impressive career, as she works as a nurse. Harriet chose dual career paths after becoming inspired by her parents. Her mother, a nurse, hoped she would follow in her footsteps, whereas her father manages the family farm. After graduating from the University of Derby in 2023, Harriet now juggles full-time nursing with helping out on the farm, using social media to shed light on the realities of farm life. Catastrophic. Jeremy Clarkson reveals harvest has been a disaster on his farm. TV star warned of catastrophic year ahead for anyone who eats food. Jeremy Clarkson has admitted that funds amassed from his hit TV show Clarkson's Farm are keeping his diddly squat farm alive after a disastrous harvest. The 1,000-acre holding in Oxfordshire is at the heart of his hugely popular Prime Video series, which follows the presenter's journey as a new farmer and the challenges he faces along the way. But, in an ironic twist, without the show's ratings success, there would be nothing to run, with Clarkson stating, "Most farms don't have TV shows to keep them going." The TV star addressed the show's success while lamenting this year's terrible harvest. He wrote on X Twitter on Friday, the 8th of August, "It looks like this year's harvest will be catastrophic. That should be a worry for anyone who eats food. If a disaster on this scale had befallen any other industry, there would be a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth." When one fan told him that this particular drama will make good TV in a future episode of Clarkson's Farm, the former Top Gear star replied, "Yes. But most farms don't have TV shows to keep them going." He also said there would not be a cat in hell's chance of the farm surviving if he hadn't extended his business empire by taking over rural country pub The Windmill in Asthall, a village boozer, on 5 acres of countryside near Burford. The host, who until recently co-presented the Grand Tour for the streamer, reportedly struck a £160 million deal for 3 seasons of Clarkson's Farm in 2020. Since then, the show has become one of Prime Video's most watched titles, and a 4th season aired earlier this year. Clarkson's comments arrives after he revealed Diddley Squat Farm had been hit with an outbreak of bovine tuberculosis. He has since been left unable to buy or sell cows for 2 months, because that's how long we have to wait before we do another test. Bovine TB (BTB) is a chronic respiratory disease caused by a bacterium called Mycobacterium bovis. The disease can be catastrophic for farmers, and forces the culling of infected cattle. Due to a BTB incident in England between October 2021 and September 2022, 22,934 cows were killed. The disease, which can also infect badgers, deer, goats and pigs, is the biggest challenge facing the farming industry today. Clarkson bought the now famous land in 2008 and, after the villager who ran the farm retired in 2019, he decided to see if he could run it himself, a venture tracked in Clarkson's farm. This outbreak of BTB is the latest setback for Diddley Squat Farm, which has already weathered a year of climate-driven disasters. Earlier this month, Clarkson gave a worrying update on the future of his farm. He called 2025 the worst year ever, citing a shocking harvest due to heatwaves and drought in the UK. Kaleb Cooper announces new venture away from Clarkson's farm. Kaleb Cooper has announced a new venture away from Clarkson's farm. The young farmhand, 27, has been a star on the hit Amazon Prime TV series since it began in 2021. Clarkson's Farm showcases Mr. Cooper and Jeremy Clarkson's day-to-day life running the 1,000-acre farm in Chadlington, Oxfordshire. 4 series later, the duo, along with fellow co-stars including Charlie Ireland, Lisa Hogan and Gerald Cooper, have won the hearts of viewers of all ages. But now, Mr. Cooper has announced his latest project outside of the show. He will be launching a children's book called Kaleb's Farmhand Tales, out on September 11th. He said on Instagram, "With my new children's book coming out on the 11th of September, you can now pre-order signed copies from the link in my bio. Let's get farming taught in schools." Mr. Cooper has experience writing a book, having penned his Sunday Times bestseller The World According to Kaleb. Earlier this year he was voted in the Times Young Power list for 2025. A description of the book says, "Grab your wellies and join Kaleb, his trusty dog, and the love of his life tractor in these muddy, true, and very silly stories from the farm. You'll meet Jeff the Mad Rooster, Bruce the Breakout Boar, and maybe even catch him, learn the wisdom of sheep, and discover how using a tractor can solve nearly every problem there is." From the nation's favorite farming star, Kaleb Cooper, and with funny illustrations, too, these silly and true tales, packed with everything Kaleb's learnt since he first became a farmer, are perfect for all farm mad fans aged 5 to 7 years old.